Thank you. So just for anyone who doesn't know me, I work here in the Civil Engineering Department in NUIG Galway. And I'm literally just going to give you a flavour of the type of, I suppose, impacts which will be discussed by various partners in more detail later on. So it will be just a quick overview, a broad sweep of the type of impacts that we made. Maybe just to start off, I suppose the project itself combined a number of, I suppose, two key areas. I would say one might be what we might traditionally call engineering, which was looking at installation of developed technologies in various pilots, and the second area was looking at ICT. And I suppose the challenge of the project was to bring these two together in order to achieve a number of varying impacts, which were everything from trying to save, reduce water consumption, to tie that to how that might impact emissions from an organisation, particularly increasing awareness among various audiences of water and its link to energy. And I suppose try to instill in organisations and people more eco-friendly behaviour. I think the underpinning area of all this was an area that one of our colleagues from BM Change will deal with later, was how do we translate these technologies and what we do in pilots into sound business cases that could actually be rolled out by SMEs and provide services to various stakeholders. The project itself targeted a wide variety of users through the four pilots. So we had a school here in Galway, Clifford, which was up in Knocknacarra. We had NUIG Galway, our engineering building. We had Linate Airport, and we also, as I mentioned, we had Thermi in Greece, which is a city. Well, in Irish terms, it's a city with about 7,000 people. In Greek terms, it's a town probably. So it depends on. And there's a whole variety of people that we would have targeted, from, I suppose, corporate staff in airport to families in Thermi to university students and staff. So it's quite a wide variety of areas, and different pilots would have tried to impact on these areas in different ways. I just briefly, I won't even mention these, but the two pilots, just to look at, give some of the key impacts from Ireland first. So the two pilots in Ireland were the Galway, which is a school. In Ireland, it's a secondary school, which means that the students there would range in age from about 12 to maybe 17 or 18, and NUIG Galway, which has a mixture of, I suppose, students, but also has laboratory uses for water, and it's an extensive campus where there's a lot of management that goes into the infrastructure on the campus itself. So I suppose some of the key awareness, or some of the key areas that we would have tried to impact on. We had two main dashboards. I suppose these were, you might always say, screens that people could interface with. One was targeted at managers and one was targeted at the public. Obviously the managers one maybe gave more specific information to do with the building water network in this case and how it was performing and functioning, whereas the public dashboard I suppose gave more high level detail and tried to get people to interact with it in certain ways. So I think, in both cases, we would have, I suppose, launched very specific applications to target those particular audiences. The public display you might have seen as you came into the building. There was a public display downstairs in the atrium, and it just comprised initially just of a very large, it has the total water consumed in the previous day as its opening screen. I suppose one of the reasons for just putting something up like that was it's a large number and it tends to catch people's attention. But I think as people became more aware of the screen, they actually understood more what does 40,000 metres cubed or litres of water mean per day. And I think this was a big challenge, was to people might be environmentally aware, but they might not understand what the numbers themselves actually mean. Throughout the building later on, you'll see installations. Louise will be showing you some installations that we have throughout the buildings, and some of the ways in which we try to get people to interact with the installations through the use of QR codes. Other things we used in this building were a variety of information seminars and a variety of means that we tried to actually, and workshops that we tried to get students to engage with the project themselves. So it was everything from surveying students to bringing them into labs and doing workshops with them, to inviting them to try and develop their own apps or to review apps that we have developed. And all the time it was going to school and university to try and get students really engaged in the project and thinking about their water consumption. Other areas in this particular pilot, both in the school and in this pilot here, we have particular applications looking at fault detection and diagnosis. So we would have uncovered a number of faults in the water systems both here and at the school that were resulting in significant overconsumption of mains water. Here it was in relation to the operation of the rainwater harvesting system. So because it wasn't operating correctly, the building was drawing more mains water than it needed to. Other areas of impact, I suppose, included water consumption awareness, and so we've tried to measure this through surveys of students pre and post interventions. Gamification, so a number of competitions and ideas to try and get students involved in the project itself. These will all be discussed in more detail. And the various types of engagement which we had with students. And I have to say that the school in Cosh and Cargo were excellent in providing us access to the students there. We had a very good relationship with the teachers and the principal there. So the second pilot, or the third pilot, there's two here in Galway, was in Thermy, and I just have a lot of people maybe are not familiar with it. Athens is down here, so Thermy is in the north of Greece near Thessaloniki, which I believe is the second largest city in Greece. So Christos is here from Thermy. He will be speaking later, but just as a brief overview, there was 10 households involved in this pilot, about 50 sensors were installed, and over 50 custom apps developed for these particular households. I know that Christos would have had a lot of interaction with the households, both setting up the pilots themselves, and then engaging with them afterwards in terms of maybe adapting the apps, improving applications, and also getting feedback from the households themselves as to how they were they actually using these apps on their smartphones and how were they engaging with them. So in each household, there would have been installation obviously of water meters throughout the household, and the householders then would have been given very specific information on when and where and how they are using water. So some of the major impacts would have been increased awareness of water consumption. I guess even for countries where water is metered and where you're billing for it, you rarely get the type of detail where you can actually break out what your major usages of water are. I think that's an important thing. Users started thinking more about behavioural changes, and again, I suppose once you can see these numbers in front of you, you actually start to think about it more carefully about how you're using them. Whereas maybe when you get a bill once every month or whatever, it's more passive engagement that you have. I think this is very important. Users becoming more familiar with water sustainability metrics, things such as water footprints. A colleague that I work with in UCD who doesn't work in engineering was mentioning that when people are surveyed, they're asked about, for example, metrics such as kilowatt hours per metre cubed used. They haven't a clue what that means, they have no idea. So translating metrics into something that people can understand and they can think about the water usage is important. And other areas, it gave them peace of mind with regard to whether they had faults or not, so at least they could know that whatever they were being billed for was in fact what they were using. And a lot of increased interest in the area of adapting new technologies for, I suppose, smart homes. This is a very quick screenshot. I think Christos will go into a lot more detail as to what exactly viewers could see. But viewers could see a variety of different types of information about their water usage, and they could compare their water usage on a week-by-week basis or a day-by-day basis, and they could change a lot of what they wanted to see. So if they were interested in it and they wanted to compare last month to this month, they could see this, but if they wanted to compare last week to this week, they could see that as well. Or there were various statistics that could be highlighted. The last pilot was in the Linate airport, and that was obviously in Italy, in Milan. It's quite a large airport. I think it wouldn't be far off Dublin Airport in terms of the numbers of passengers that go through it every day. And again, this is an extensive operation, and I think when we all visited Linate Airport and went around, we could see exactly how extensive operating an airport is. It's an absolutely massive operation. And one of the key outcomes there, I think, was the implementation was a very good site to try and implement the methodology we developed as part of this project. So we developed a methodology which would be similar to, I suppose, energy management methodologies, but it was specifically applied to water. Because of the sensitivities of operating in a site like that, such as security, such as you can't have downtime, you can't have delay any, I suppose, flights when you're installing water meters, you can't, there's a huge amount of different considerations. Actually having a standards-based methodology which we were able to apply to that site and which we're able to use to actually inform them or meter the site and inform them as to how we go about improving efficiency was very important. So other things we would have then looked at is the district meter area water balance, so for the airport itself. There was, as we said, a lot of smart monitoring equipment put on board. R2M, one of the partners in this project who are based in Italy, developed a hydronic model for the airport itself. And by here in NUIG Galway, we took two different approaches to fault detection and diagnosis. They took the modelling approach to fault detection and diagnosis. So between the two pilots, we tried to cover the variety of ways in which you might detect faults in water networks. And similarly to this building here, they would have also had a platform both for a public platform and a platform for building manager and facilities managers in the airport. So they gave different types of information. Again, there will be more detail on this later. Some of the major impacts there will be increased user awareness, and I suppose if they were introduced, I think this was very important for them, clear pathways to manage efficiently water resources, okay? Because I guess they wouldn't have really had any clear pathways as to how they would install water meters or why they would install them. I'm not sure what the implementation of smart water management system, and by developing this model here, the model of the water network at the airport, I suppose it gave them the opportunity to take leaches at a very early stage, which, because of the way they're built for water, was extremely important for the airport, and is a significant cost for the airport. Okay, I suppose, so other areas we would have tried to impact would have been, I suppose, economic impacts, particularly given, I suppose, the way EU funding is going now. All projects need to be cognizant of what the opportunities are for commercial spin-offs. So some of the key commercial spin-offs will be one of our partners in the Netherlands, VTech, who are developing sensors, have developed a spin-off company as a result of some of the sensor development in this project. Ultra4 and R2M, again, two of partners in this project, are putting together a new value proposition based on the Waternomics methodology, which I believe they are going to be rolling out to the marketplace soon. VTech and VMC, both of whom I mentioned earlier, again, there's a new business there with the SIMAC Smart Building Platform. And actually, both companies are based in Eindhoven, and they're based in the old Philips factories in Eindhoven. It's actually a fantastic facility, and it seems to be a great place for SMEs to get together and launch new platforms. And say plan to expand to Malpensa Airport, the Waternomics platform, and try and roll out the systems that we've showcased in that. And I think that's a big win for the project as well, because they wouldn't do this unless they felt it was sensible from a business point of view. Lastly, very briefly, some of the dissemination highlights. I'm not going to go into all of these, but I suppose we spent a lot of time engaging businesses at various business fairs. And just in terms of engaging with, having to engage with a lot of clients and customers in terms of our pilots. From the academic point of view, we've numerous scientific publications that are available on our website, and they detail, I guess, a lot of the contributions in terms of research that we've made. Engaging policymakers from the EU, particularly ICT for Water, which is a cluster within the EU, looking at the whole area of ICT applied to water. So Sandra would have done a huge amount of work there. And our website, I suppose, has generated quite a lot of visits over the last number of years, about 95,000. And we have a SlideShare account whereby you can download any presentations throughout the project. So that gives you maybe a brief flavour of what we're going to go through. All those areas will be covered in a little bit more detail later on. And